Got Sean here with Boulevard Brewing, and you just told me today is your 25th anniversary, right?
It is. It's our 25th anniversary. The backstory is obviously John McDonald wanted to do something a little bit different. He wanted to make good beer. People were not as excited about just drinking American adjunct lagers anymore, and he saw an opportunity for that. Along with just his passion as a brewer. He was a home brewer for years out in the Pacific Northwest where he lived with his wife, and they moved out to Kansas City and basically bought an old warehouse, turned that into a little brewery where he actually lived for the first few years of trying to get this up and running. Had to build a lot of trust from some investors and get some money to build this because it's not a cheap thing to start a brewery. So he was able to get that with a lot of help from his father, and they got the ground up and running in just a few months. And since then, they've been able to make pretty much the most popular American craft wheat beer, unfiltered wheat beer. This is going to be a very nice, light-bodied beer. These beers are made to be enjoyed kind of in a sessionable arena where you're going to be able to have more than just the one or two. It's also going to be a great beer for the summertime. The next beer we're going to try is actually going to be the first beer we ever brewed. Like I said, back in 1989 on November 17th, John McDonald sold his first keg of pale ale out in Kansas City. When he was walking out of the bar, about 5 or 6 guys told him that that's the worst beer they ever drank and that it was never going to amount to anything. But thankfully, everyone's got their own opinions, and a lot of other people thought pale ale was a great beer. So we're going to try a little bit of this today. Very much a balanced beer again. Like I said, we like to be balanced over at Boulevard. This beer is going to have a nice hop characteristic, but along with that, have a nice caramel malty backbone sweetness to balance it all out. So you're not going to be too far in one direction on a malt-based beer or a hop-forward beer. So this one's going to be kind of right in the middle. All right, so the next beer that we're going to have today, and also going to have it on tap, is going to be Tank 7. Smokestack series is kind of a nice little step up from our everyday brands. They come in 4-packs and 750 milliliter bottles, just like you see right here. Tank 7 is a pretty cool beer because it was something that really kind of fell on us almost by accident. So at the brewery we have many different tanks, and the easiest thing is just to number that tanks as you're discussing brewing strategies with your brewers. And Tank 7 was kind of the redheaded stepchild. It was the really finicky one. It was the one that would never do what you needed it to do as far as fermentation. And when we were brewing or trying to make our first saison, it went through Tank 7, and what came out was an awesome beer. And nothing that was coming out of the other tanks was quite like that. So Tank 7 really helped make this beer